Good afternoon, nerds and chat shows. It's the Nerd Chat Show. It's 1987 and it's rather chilly across the country, but that hasn't stopped Chessington Zoo becoming Chessington World of Adventures. All while the Royal Myle has also had a makeover. It now looks like the 80's is vomited everywhere. Should we make the Nerd Chat Show an actual thing? Uh-oh, Chat Show's over by the Lido again. Welcome to 1987, you guys. Can you believe we're coming up to 60 years worth of history of the park? And more to the point, how did this series end up having more episodes than Would Have You Muse did? But anyway, this week is going to be a bit of a filler episode. It's another cut to done episode because my IRL life is proper kicking off, and you guys do deserve another week off, especially if you've been following since the beginning, because this is quite intense. And do you remember the Lido building that was Tomorrow Me's problem? This one, right here, it's tomorrow. We need to sort it out. So, do you remember back when I was putting in the dark ride, I said that this building was going to get re-kitted out and it's going to have all sorts of grand things added to it and all sorts of stuff was going to happen. It's going to be part of the show and it was going to kit. Yeah, it didn't happen. It totally didn't happen. And that's because I kind of decided that this area was pulled together in the 40s. It's going to need a little bit of a lick of paint and a bit of love and care before we hit 1990, because that's quite a long time to be running with this area. And other than the introduction of stuff like cheese chase, it's kind of fallen a little bit by the wayside, so it does need a little bit of love and care. So this is my master plan. This is what I'm going to be doing this episode. So the Blue Lagoon is going to be going. The boat ride is going to be going. The dolphins are going to be going. Now, I'm not saying I'm selling them on for tuna or anything horrific like that, but we probably should be giving them to someone that can look after them, especially as we do have in the UK dolphin or marine animals in captivity laws that are coming in the 90s. We're probably preparing for that, so it's time to say goodbye to the dolphins. And plus, animal welfare is now a bit of a thing in the late 80s. So let's bow to popular pressure. Let's do the right thing for the dolphins and let's give them a proper home. So Blue Lagoon is going to be completely going. The cyclone swings needs to be moved. Controversial, and this bit all needs tidying up. We're going to be going for this Californian style boardwalk beach pier vibe for this area, so that's what I want to do. I'm going to move the toilets into the building. This is going to become a restaurant. This is going to be an entrance area into the boardwalk bit, and then this Blue Lagoon area is then going to become a new boardwalk area that's going to connect down to the bottom here, and that is because at the moment all of the traffic for the park needs to come up around here past the dark ride and past the fairy tale land, and it's a bit of a mission. So actually what I wanted to do is split off the path in two directions, so we've now got a new path that comes along here and make a feature of the waterfront once again. So like I say, all of this is going to go. I haven't decided though what I'm going to do with this bit yet, whether I tidy it up or not. I'm going to need to play that one through. So that's my grand master plan. See you in a minute. And there it is, you guys. Absolute living proof that I need to stop telling myself that rethemes are just a really simple job and it'll be over in a matter of hours. Because it really is not. I keep lying to myself and I need to stop. But it is so worth it when you see buildings like the Lido building take on a whole new form. Like, it is the same building, but it's just this brand new identity that it's got. And I mean, 1980 committed so many crimes against design and colour, and I've crammed so many into this building. I can't wait to show you. And I mean, even down to the waterfront here, it's a very sad 1980s waterfront, but it's still elegant. It's still got a bit of charm to it, and it's just nice and simple. And then even down here where I have kept it simple, it's still very, very 80s. And like, I know I was going for boardwalk theme across the entire area, but the 80s just took over. I kind of wanted to take the opportunity of being in the late 80s, and we needed to commit some crimes against design. This is the perfect excuse to do that. So let's start here. It's the Dodgems. It stood to reason that they were going to replace the building from the 40s, and when they were replacing the building, they're like, actually, let's move it, because it was sitting really awkwardly in this position here, especially as well the Ferris wheel needed to move because it was in a weird placement. It was fine for the 40s, but in the 80s it needed tidying up. So they took the opportunity to replace the building. And actually there was an architect in the 80s called John Outram. Amazing architect. Some of the stuff that he did is incredible. This is based on a pump house building that he did. Yeah, a pump house, as in water and sewage and stuff. Brilliant though, absolutely brilliant. So I thought this was perfect for the Dodgems because of all the intricacies that you've got with the bracing and the pillars and whatever. And I mean, these are nothing special. It's just the icing. It's the Theme Maker's Toolkit cogs that you get from the steampunk set. It's the Quinn Dynasty beams and the Dyna beams, but they're just so disgustingly 80s. And do you remember back when I was doing the 40s episode, I said there was a lot of design influences, a lot of similarities between the 40s, 50s and 70s and 80s when it came to design. Well, this is exactly it. So Sliders has got a whole new identity. It's got this whole new thing. It's had its roof stripped off and it's got this new frontage. Remember, rethemes are all about stripping stuff back and redoing it rather than rebuilding entire buildings. So this is what it's got. I mean, this design would have passed in the 40s, but I wanted to pay homage to the fact that we had this kind of design style in the 40s at the Royal Mile, and I'm bringing it back with a modern twist. And in fact, even in 2020, we're seeing like 1980s and 90s coming back with a modern twist. Design just goes in these massive cycles, and it just goes through refining every single now and again. So bit of repaint, bit of recolor, and a bit of geometric shapes, and off you go. We've got a brand new look to the Sliders, and I absolutely dig it. Now this, oh yes, this Lido building, like I say, it's the same building, it's the same footprint, other than the toilets that we've added on. Chacho toilets, which are in there. Nothing particularly special to show you because it's just the Chacho toilets. But it is just still the same building. All I've done is I've extended the roof and put this stuff on. Again, this is a John Outram inspired building. And if we come inside here, you can just see all of the crimes we're committing against design and colour. Love it, love it. Like, even down to like the ice cream sign and the stuff on the wall. Planet Coaster does an amazing job at giving us the tools to do these disgusting designs. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but like, this wall here isn't flush against the wall. It's on an angle, and that is so quintessentially 1970s and 80s. And then inside here, it's all neon, and it's just these pastel bright colours. It's the pink, the yellows, the blues, the purples. Yes, colour clashes where you put red and green together and you just don't care about it, and all the lights are all this. It's just a gift shop. It's just a gift shop. And if you have a look at shops from the 80s, it was very mall inspired. Everything was like mega malls, shopping centres, that sort of thing. So this is what we're going for in this area. And then when we come into the ice cream place, oh, I love how this turned out. This is just incredible. So like, all of the art shapes and whatever that the game gives you are just perfect for doing this kind of style. There's not much TNTK that you see here other than the detail stuff. The actual design stuff is all the art shapes. I very rarely get to use them, so I took the opportunity to. And I am so glad that I did, because just look at how incredible it is. Like, it's just... This would actually pass for a modern take on 1980s as well. We see this design style everywhere, but like I've tried to bring in all of the geometric shapes and the weirdness from the 80s everywhere, and it just, I think I've managed to pull this off. I'm proper chuffed with like how this wall and stuff looks, and when it couples with the neon signs or the neon ceiling, yeah, I am absolutely here for it. I am so here for it. And then we come to the, oh, hello, where are we going? Then we come to the actual boardwalk area that I wanted to do. So while I let the 1980s get carried away, I did still want to do the boardwalk area because we were replacing the dolphin show and stuff. So this is what we've got here. I have pulled in some buildings from a previous park build and a previous project that I did. So this one, for example, was an old photo unit, and I've just repurposed it as a games unit. So, oh, hi Raven. So I've just managed to pull this together as like a games unit, remembering that the 1980s would have been starting to introduce the idea of attractions and games, and we don't have many in the Royal Mile. We took them all out, so I've put them all back in. And then this building turned out a little bit better than I thought it was going to actually. It ended up being a little bit pirate inspired, so I wanted to have all the food and the drinks units side by side with games in the middle. And actually this shaped building worked out quite nicely. It's simple, but it doesn't need to be any more than this, and I'm happy with this. Again, colours, very 1980s inspired. It's all about the purples and the blues and the yellows and the oranges all working together. They don't work together, but they do in the sense of this actual style. And then this building I've used in the past, most recently in Wilderview Mews, but I just wanted to bring it in again. I have made some edits to it, so it isn't the exact same building, but I just loved how it looked. It felt very 80s as it was, so I've just dragged it in, and actually it completes that sightline quite nicely. So I'm happy with that. And then we've got the actual boardwalk itself. So it's, of course, it's made of wood. It's not underneath, of course. You saw it being built, but it's wood, and it's just like the plank effect and stuff. Love it. And then I wanted to have a jetty. I wanted something to sit outside here and have a seating area. I mean, we're not morons yet in the late 80s. We are still able to live as humans without walking into lampposts and not being told to not walk into lampposts. So we're okay to sit out on a jetty. We're not going to fall in the water. We're not going to jump because we're not stupid yet. So we're good to go. So this is just a seating area. And then down here, I wanted this to feel a little bit crappy. Like, I wanted this to feel like this. Actually, it pulls it off quite nicely. I think it might either be demolished in the future, or it might get a redesign or whatever. I didn't want to have this grand entrance to the boardwalk. I just wanted you to be able to walk onto the boardwalk. And then this is, of course, a gift shop that's sitting in here. And then I have completed what I'm calling the Lido walk. So we've got like this bit all along here. We've now got a pathway that goes underneath. So if actually you didn't want to walk down the boardwalk or walk up around this way, you could technically have walked along here, along the waterfront. You can't in game. It doesn't work in game, but I don't mind. It just looks all right. And then over here, what I've done is I've actually just brought it round and then joined it all up and tidied up all of the flower beds and stuff. I do think I need to move this fountain. I kept it there, but actually now I'm looking at it and it's splashing away onto the path. It's probably going to need to be moved, let's be honest. But yeah, I love how this walkway has now joined up with this bit here, and it's now creating a bit of a lakeside walk where at the moment you can go from here, you can carry on walking around here. I do want to continue it back round this way so that it then just completes the waterfront side. But I mean, it's going to be a thing for another day. I don't want it to be too much of a burden. And then just this last area here, I wanted to open it up slightly. I originally had plans of having a food unit here and everybody had to walk through the ice cream shop and the gift shop, but actually that was just going to be too much. I just decided completely against that. So what I've done is I've opened it up with a games unit in this area, actually functional in game. Don't want to go too much more than this. It is what it is. And then I moved the Ferris wheel so it's now flush against the quay wall, and I've also reduced cheese chase. How do you even pluralize cheese chase? Is it cheese chases? Queue line. It doesn't need to be this long. This coaster does not attract a queue. So I've actually shortened the queue completely, and it's opened up this area really really, really nicely. So guys, I am so chuffed with how this has turned out. I mean, yes, it's just 80s. I love it. I love it so much. I mean, where's the view that we're gonna be able to do the outro from? Should we do it from here? There you go. It's not the greatest of views, but it's the outro nonetheless. Thank you so much for getting to the end of the video, guys. You know I always appreciate it. I say it every single week, and I don't mean it any more that I say it. So, as always, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe and whatever. I'll see you next week. Have a good week. Speak to you soon. Bye!